Alright, so I've been meaning to make a Congregate Swarm deck for a long time, and every time I go to make a video about it and play some games, it just doesn't work out. So today, we're just going to do it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but we're going to try and play it, finally make a video on this, because we don't really have that many Syndicate videos. Now, talking about Congregate, why it is okay. The issue I've always had with Congregate is that it's kind of like Irae Swarm, right, where you get a bunch of swarming and payoffs for the swarming. But the issue is, unlike Irae Swarm, several of your payoffs, like one of the best payoffs is the Fallen Knight, right? Fallen Knight's really good. Gets points every time you spawn something. It's one of your best payoffs. The issue is with Fallen Knight is proactive instead of reactive. So look at Chimera, for example, or Bone Talisman. You swarm first, then once you're done swarming, you get the payoff, and they can't stop you from doing it. Like, they can't kill off the... In this case, you play Fallen Knight, and then as he's out, he gets boosted up by the points. And there's two big problems with that. Mostly this is just about Fallen Knight, but also to an extent the Eternal Fire Priests. What happens is you play it out, and they kill it, and then you don't get any payoffs because your payoff was a proactive payoff, and now it's gone. It's one problem I always have with the deck. The other thing that comes up quite a bit is, similar to Irae Swarm, people kill your tokens to get your benefit from payoff from the swarm, but you have a harder time making those tokens, right? You can't just like click leader ability, you can't just like throw it on Irae's nest. So I'm pretty sure that, in my opinion at least, Irae Swarm is a better version of this. But that being said, I've always wanted to play it because I wanted to try it out. And today we're going to do it, and we'll see if we can't overcome some of those shortcomings. So most of this deck is very, very standard. You're going to see these in pretty much every Swarm deck. We have the Jack's Miracle Child, Ulrich. Ulrich's good because he makes Fallen Knight. You really want him for Fallen Knight, but he's good for other bronzes too if you don't have it. Grand Inquisitor's good. Obviously, you want him to spawn out a bunch of your Firesworn tokens and set up your payoff. You've got Junior. Junior's just a good card. You're running Devotion. Vivaldi Bank looks through your deck, finds stuff because we're playing Devotion. Dice Erase is your big payoff. Boosts all your Firesworns by 1. It's your Echo card, so you want 2 long rounds with this deck. That means long round 1 you win, and then you go for long round 3 almost all the time. Alternatively, if you win round 1 pretty quickly, say you got out your Inquisitor and then used him to get a bunch of units out, you buff them up and go for a 2-0 attempt with a longer round 2. That's basically the 2 options here. Usually the longer round 2 goes better because your long round 3 is pretty vulnerable to removal. So stuff like if you're playing our Syndicate player, for example, Freak Show kills all your tokens and then your payoffs are dead. So you might want to go for that there. It's up to you. Sacred Flame, big payoff, makes 2 tokens, really nice. Lieutenant, he makes token every turn if he doesn't die or get locked. Unfortunately, he's only a 4 with 1 armor, so he probably dies most of the time. Usually you want to have something that gets a payoff for spawning that token out earlier to get an extra point, like the Eternal Fire Priest or the Fallen Knight. So it's not as bad. He plays for 6, which isn't super good. Now we have this. This is the card that I wanted to run and try out since it's changed. It no longer requires adjacent units, and when it required adjacent units, it was pretty bad. Now, I think it might still be bad, but I wanted to try it out and give it a fair shot. If you don't want to run this, I think the best alternative is probably either Freak Show for a bit of removal with your coins, because you don't have that many fee cards, or you can run, which is probably what I'd recommend, the Roderick. He gives you a coin every turn. You don't have too much coin generation, and you can always use him to spawn a Footman, so he's not a bad option either. Running the 2 brothers. The reason we're running them is, again, we really don't have any fee. There's like very few uses for our coins. You're not generating a lot of coins, but the thing is, if with the right setup, you can generate a lot of coins. At least enough that you want more fee cards than what you just have. So I threw these 2 in. They work pretty well. I like running them, and they're pretty fun. You play one early on, then the next round, you play the other one with its increased ability. The other thing to mention is we're running Ewald here. In particular, I wanted to run him just to set stuff up for this to kill and spawn as tokens. I wasn't going to run this at all, but then the other day I was playing a whole bunch of basically exclusively Symbiosis Gourd Orb decks with the, whatever it is, Nature's Gift Leader. And this would be really, really good in that matchup, so I thought I'd try it out. I don't know if we're going to run into any today, but kind of hope we do. It's the logic there. Excommunication looks through your deck, plays a card. Top 3 cards, if you banish Firesworn, you're always going to banish the Firesworn token. Procession of Penance is a 12 for 6 if you got the cards out. Again, this is a nice payoff to the swarming. This is a lot more like I was talking about earlier, where it's reactive instead of proactive. The issue here is, unlike Arachis Swarm, whenever you have a lot of these payoffs get really tall, Fallen Knight gets tall, this gets really tall, and you're vulnerable to tall removal. I think it's just, yeah, this could be a problem, but we're playing it anyway because we need it for the payoff, and it's a big play. 2 Fallen Knights. Fallen Knights is so good, especially with Auric, but it's not really is enough to carry the deck. We'll see. Okay, then we have Firesworn Scribe. Whenever you spawn a unit, you get a coin. The tribute basically makes it out of most bronze removal range, which is really good. The thing with it is that if you have this out, if you have 2 of these out and Grand Inquisitor, his fee becomes fee 0, because you get the 2 coins back, which is really good. You just get infinite free guys with the Inquisitor if you have 2 of these out. If you have 1 out, you just make a whole bunch more. So usually you want to have at least 1 to play with Inquisitor. It's a really good combo. Then the 1 Cleric, you could play... These bronzes are obviously like, you could swap these around how you want to. Cleric's one of the few fee cards. You could run a second one if you want more fee. I'm running the Brothers instead. If you're not running them, you probably run a second Cleric. He has the same fee as Van Hurst. He turns your Zealots into Flaming Rose Footmen. Obviously, you want to use this before you do your Dice Array and Sacred Flames, otherwise you lose the boosts. Keep that in mind. You don't want to save coins for this and then realize, oh, you can't use them. Congregation, it's 6 for 4 is really good. The thing is, this combo is really well with Fallen Knight, because Fallen Knight also has Intimidate. So, if Fallen Knight's out, Congregation gives you 6 points of tokens and boosts your Fallen Knight by 4. So it actually plays for quite a bit if you've got Fallen Knights out. Smuggle just spawns a guy and gives us the tokens, pretty nice. The Priest, it boosts itself when you spawn 1 or more units, unlike Fallen Knight who spawns himself, or boosts himself by 1 for each spawned. So much weaker, but still not that bad. And we have the 2 mutants maker for coins. You can swap these around, maybe you only want 1 for an Eternal Fire Priest. Obviously you can swap the bronzes how you want, but this is the deck. And let's see how it...
My dynasty will reign for 1,000
Assimilate probably
years
this time.
longer.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so Fallen Knights, if he steals Fallen Knights, it's really bad. But we can't really stop him from doing it and still hope to win the early rounds. Go back Smuggle. Give this Smuggle too. Tortoise. Sure. Well, let's see what we have here. What do we want to open with? Opening with the Trident's good, but you need the coins. So we could set up some coins here. I think we'll start with this Scribe.
Now, what is that?
It's a way for us to get coins without having to do too much. Well, while also doing our Thrive stuff. This is probably getting locked. And they have the Imprisonment leader ability, and they also run Collar. They usually throw out Collar really quick, just because they have the backup of their leaders if they need them. And it denies a lot of early points. I'm guessing we'll get killed off here.
I bring death. Quite
We did not, so let's actually get some coin value then. We'll go Congregate. Should be pretty nice. Get that 1 coin. And then when we play out our Mutants Maker, gets us to 4 for Lieutenant. Amnesty. We can't really use the coins, which is nice.
Oh, the digits dropped off. Oh, we must sew them back on.
Yeah, it's basically we expected the second Blight Maker here.
No good wine will come from here, not even compost.
So our options here are we could go for Lieutenant. The thing is he'll get collared. And then we don't have him later. I think we just pass here and go for 2 longer rounds. I don't think we really have a chance if we keep going here. He's already up too much. And we don't have Dice Array or Sacred Flame in our hand to pay off our swarming. The reason Fallen Knights are so good here for us is because his Imprisonment can't lock them. The reason they're so bad is that when he takes one with, say, like a Duchess Informant, and then he can spawn stuff. Spawn and play with other Duchess Informants. We could go for him. I like the engine value there. I'm not sure I like the transform. We have it from him already. This goes well with the Fallen Knights. We are missing Ulrich still. Maybe put this back and look for him. Did not see him. It's gonna be Dead Man's Tongue almost certainly here.
They will dance to our beat,
There it is.
sing to our tune.
Okay. Now the question is, do we start setting engines up or not? I want 2 coins for Lieutenant here, so I will set up Horst Bersodi. We'll start with him.
I honestly don't know what you think this is, Vagrant.
There's a War Council. Oh, it's bald. Okay. That's weird.
My, the Van Morlehems, they truly spoil us.
Playing against Ball. That's interesting. It is interesting. We could go for Junior now to deny this from growing. I think we want to do that. We have Horst. We're gonna need him. Lose him. Oh, I thought we were gonna lose the other one. It's fine. So we still have the coins for Horst. He's gonna get locked still. So actually more valuable would be our Fallen Knights, because he played that tourney joust. Although if we can get Horst set up, then this won't die to the second tourney joust. But he's not gonna be doing that. He's just gonna get locked. So we'll play him now.
Of the order.
We can use our coins on something like Ewald or
Have you made
Horst.
your offer?
Oh, this is Harst, not Horst. Sorry, I've been saying that wrong. Played them both, confused me. He's getting locked immediately. I'm sure there's a leader charge coming out to him. Although he might try and poison him instead, but I doubt it. He knows we're not going to be going very tall other than Procession of Penance. Yeah, there's a lock here. He doesn't have to use a leader for it.
Few folk should dare venture into the Von Morleheim wood.
Okay, he does that. We have to go for a Fallen Knight here, I think. We've got to go 1 Vitality and then go for Ulrich. We can see 9 cards. I like that choice. Do that and then play Bank. Get our Ulrich out. There he is. Hopefully he's not too far down. That's not that bad. And then we go here and we get out a Fallen Knight.
Then so be it.
We are up now, so we can't just pass. And at 6, this won't die to a second tourney joust. And then we put next to Ulrich, so it won't die to Assassinate either. We still kind of want to avoid all going in one row, just in case he has some kind of throw punish, but he probably doesn't. He could double leader this. He could leader and play a card on it to kill it. But I'm feeling most of his removal is going to be from poisons. I didn't really even expect the 1 tourney joust. I'm guessing he just runs tourney joust, not assassinate code weapons. Oh, he's just going to go for the Vilgeforts. This could be bad depending on what he pulls from our deck. That's not that bad. We will play another Fallen Knight here. And we will play a leader charge so we can stay on up on even. Next turn we have a Congregate or a Fallen Knight. Okay, we're gonna get locked and poisoned, so it's this 7, 11 points here for the swing. This plays for 6 plus it boosts our Fallen Knight by 3. We get 1 on Ulrich for being a crime. This looks like the play.
The fire cannot burn without the proper fuel.
And we also get 1 on Fallen Knight for the Intimidate as well. I should mention that. It's in plus 4 total. 3 from the spawning. Now we don't have Dice Array or the Sacred Flame in our hand, which is kind of problematic here. We do actually have the 5 tokens now to throw out our Procession of Penance, but we have to be careful of the Invocation. I'd rather he Invocation this Fallen Knight just because it's worse, although Invocationing Procession of Penance is pretty bad for him too, because it's going to play for like 2 next round. Okay, now I want to save this because it has some options for the next round. I want to save this because it gives us units. These are kind of interchangeable now. Let's play the Procession. I want him to Heatwave it and then play it for like 2 points next round, just because it's our tallest unit, and I think he might... Well, not Heatwave, I want him to Invocation this. With Ball gone, I think he might struggle the next round. Okay, good. Procession will take him out. I want this round to be as long as possible. We really kind of need our Grand Inquisitor here. Really want him just so we can actually spawn a bunch of guys. Then I'd like Dice Array and Sacred Flame, but Excommunication helps us get there. There's the Sacred Flame. Fallen Knight gonna be pretty good. We have Fee from Jux, but that's it. Let's put this back. Put this back. I want Grand Inquisitor still. We are also missing Dice Array. Let's open Fallen Knight. He's our only... He's the only thing that gets benefit from us spawning, right? Which means that we can just throw these 2 charges out right now. We won't go to pass, we won't lose coins from Jocks, we'll throw these out now. Take him from an Assassinate and a Tourney Joust. Make him leader charge it if he wants it dead. He's probably going to double leader it, I'm guessing. Or 1, and then Coup. Coup's interesting here. I'm not sure how much value it will get him, because I'm just going to kill it with my Ewald. So... I don't even know why I bothered saying that. We'll kill it. Just in case he has some spawn cards. I think we're set here though. Now we just play as many points as possible. Make sure you don't play Sacred Flame last. We're not going to do that because then you can't actually trigger the order. Usurper. Okay, he was going to get something here, I guess. Now we can go for Jux. We will, of course, pay this tribute. Now, we don't have any coin spenders other than Jax, but he hasn't played Invocation yet. Well, actually we do. We have Ewald. I meant we do have one other than Jax, and he hasn't played Invocation yet. So if we boost Jax up a whole bunch, then he'll just take him. So I want to spend the coins from Ewald, and I have nothing else I'm going to play that requires the coins, except maybe Grand Inquisitor. So I will... Inquisitor is profit 4 too. So we'll just throw 1 out here. Why not? Maybe see if we can get him to take it away. Yeah, like I said, if we boosted our Jocks there, he's going to take it. It is a good play for him coming up, though. A big play. So we want is Grand Inquisitor, although this could also... The thing is, this could also find us our Dice Array, in which case I wanted to have played Sacred Flame first. We're going to play Sacred Flame.
Yes, you! Have you made your offering?
And we have Excommunication, one of the tokens, into hopefully... the Inquisitor or Dice Array. Smuggle not fantastic here.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
That was smart of him. We can't use our coins anymore except from Grand Inquisitor. We'll go Smuggle. Although I wasn't going to spend those coins just because we kind of need the Grand Inquisitor for this to work out. He's filling our rows up. That's smart by him too. Although these aren't really not the bronze cards he wants to be seeing, so I think we're fine. We'll Excommunication here.
I curse your name! I damn your soul!
It's probably our best choice.
I deny
click this button, we should be good. Pretty close. We didn't get any of our big finishers. But we didn't get our biggest cards there. Still worked out though.
How can I help?
Another what's this called? Imprisonment here? Probably Assimilate again, although the last guy was a ball. This might be the same guy as earlier, but we don't know. So we know it might be ball. Someone's around playing that. Okay, Ulrich's good. Priest is actually pretty good here too. Smuggle's alright. I think I like Smuggle better because it's a crime and it spawns a Firesworn guy. Do the Ulrich Fallen Knight combo now. Well, you probably want to take this out. Kind of hard to find with stuff with, although it's not that bad. So we have 5 coins. We have Lieutenant here. We do not. I want to straight go Ulrich. Just play it easy and start with Smuggle. We lose out on a potential Intimidate from Ulrich and Fallen Knight there. And we just throw down Ulrich Fallen Knight to try and maximize our points. He's just going to pass the round and play some thinning or something. Okay, so we'll take one on the armor. Okay. I'm guessing he misclicked. But we'll try again. We'll do one more. Hey, we did it! We got the, I didn't realize that. That was the, we got the achievement for winning a game with Syndicate without spending a coin. I didn't have that one before just because it's not really something that would ever happen. But we just did it. Well, that's cool. I don't have to worry about that one anymore. That's nice, at least. That's exciting. This looks like another Vi player. Hopefully it's Succubus, so we have a chance of winning. We don't have what it takes to beat Vi. We can't generate enough points. The round 1's too aggressive, and then they bleed out round 2 and round 3 short. That's basically the weakness of this deck. You need 2 long rounds. You basically need two long rounds for the deck, and we aren't gonna get that. So we can't win this round 1 no matter what if he's playing that. Potentially, we just hope he's playing Succubus. In a long round, we can beat him, but then he has a short round 3, right? So he wins round 1, and then there's a long round 2. No matter what round 1 ended long or short, there'll be a long round 2 where he bleeds us out and sets up Vi. Then round 3 when he plays the Vi, and then like 2 more charges with his leader or something. There's no way we can beat it. So the only way out of this whole scenario is if we just win round 1 and go for a long round 3. But even then, he gets more points than us. So I'm pretty sure this matchup's unwinnable against Vi. Like, I'm 90% sure it's completely unwinnable. That being said, though, we're going to give it our best shot.
Idle hands are evil's
Or the
playthings.
priest, then we'll go here with the scribe, and then we'll go congregate. See if we can't get something going with that. Okay, so I spent time not doing anything there because I was explaining something in the video. He's just sitting here. Okay, so he doesn't get a boost this turn, which is good. But it's not really going to make a difference in the end. Now we go for the scribe.
My wrist is killing me.
And then next turn we go for congregate. Or we can throw down Fallen Knight. It depends. If he has so many engines, I think we're going to need the Fallen Knight, honestly. Alright, so it is Vi. Probably. That's not great.
Come at me if you
We're on
must.
our Fallen Knight.
Don't take this sword at all.
This potentially is running Maruna here, and he seizes one of our 4s. I'd really not want to be Fallen Knight. If he does throw it out this round, I don't want to use a charge, because if we use a charge, then we're just surrendering basically round 2, because I think we need the 3 charges. We're going to need the 3 charges for round 3. It's probably going to be a short round 3. And then we're going to need these charges to have a chance. So I think we just have to accept he's running Maruna. He gets to take one of our cards, and it could be Fallen Knight. And if it is Fallen Knight, we pass. That's the idea here. Yeah, there's the Vi. So like I was talking about earlier, I don't think we can win this matchup. I don't think we can win it. But what we can do is try to win it. To do that, we're going to have to... The only way this works is by winning round 1. So we've got Engine here. We can't actually get another Fallen Knight or anything. So we're just going to have to go Congregates and see what we can get going. Anything at all that has engine value is first. We don't actually have anything else. That's not great.
Yes, you! Have you made your offering?
The only thing that we have going for us is we do have our Sacred Flame and 1 Fallen Knight. The thing that would have really helped here is if we could kill this lizard, but then he's going to have his Haunt still. He's probably running Haunt. Problem is we don't have a reset or a seize, so we don't have a reset or like a tall punish within Syndicate other than poisons, and poisons don't go with the deck.
Believe I heard more coin clinking
Congregate
about in
again.
that pouch of yours.
You're getting a couple of coins, but the only thing we're really going to do with them is use them for horse on vitalities. Go Sacred Flame next. See, like I said, the only way this works is we win round 1, then have long round 3. But that's going to be kind of hard to get. The Sacred Flame.
Your guilt.
We have the horse for his vitality, I think we're going to go for. Again, this card not really filling in here, although normally I would try running like a, I think what might be better is the Freak Show. He's up by 32, that's a lot, and he gets a point a turn. But like I said, we just can't win the game unless we win this round. This is 12. This plays for 11 because we're going to put out the vitalities. Was the 53. Okay, we have everything else of Firesworn right now, so we have 3, 5. We get plus 11 from clicking Sacred Flame, that's 53. This plays for 11, that's 64. This is 12, that's 76. We have to use a leader, but we can still win the round. Okay, we'll play this guy here.
House, a meeting spot for the local elite.
We can do it with Procession and then a leader charge. Okay, good, we can do it. We go Procession of Penance here. Click Sacred Flame. Actually, do we need a leader charge? He goes to 77, we need 12 points. Firesworn, Firesworn. That's 5 Firesworns here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. That's 12, puts us to 77. Goes to 77, we do need one more.
He
Here.
venerates not the fire.
Click the Sacred Flame. Nope, not you. Yeah, sure you. The coin's not carrying over. Click the Sacred Flame. That'll do it. Okay, so we have our only chance of this matchup, which is a longer round 3. It's not going to be super long, but it's our only hope. We need Grand Inquisitor, which I don't think we've drawn in the game yet today. And yeah, we just need Grand Inquisitor, and then we need payoffs. Like, we're going to need our dice array here. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Again, he's going to be boosting everything. This isn't going to do anything. Okay, Ulrich, I just need a Fallen Knight, and I'm feeling okay. Fallen Knight and Grand Inquisitor. We really need a good hand to beat this. It's the kind of... It's just like a bad matchup for the deck. This style of deck. Same thing for White Frost, really. The Frost decks also push really hard round 1 and 2. That's kind of the weakness here. There's nothing I care about losing here from Squirrel. Of course, there's nothing also he's on gain from Squirrel, so it's the perfect card for him to throw out. He really should have pushed harder round 1. If he wins round 1, I think he just instantly wins the game. Okay, I just put you back. I don't really want you this game. Alright, this hand's looking pretty solid. Except for one thing. We don't have a card for Ulrich. We had to aggressively mulligan for a good card for Ulrich. We weren't gonna cut it with just the maker. We needed an engine. And we had 3, but we didn't get one. So Ulrich's a dead card now. That's a huge problem. I don't think we're gonna win anyway, honestly. But what do we do now? We didn't have a choice. We needed an engine from Ulrich to have a chance in this round. Like, I knew we could end up with this scenario if we kept mulliganing, but it was kind of required. We could have put Ulrich back and then gone into the Baldy Bank. Potentially we don't have the profit to make sure we get him again. Kind of awkward.
Technically we still have a chance, but it's going to be rather hard. We're going to need Lieutenant Van Hurst to give us a bunch of points. Our one thing we do have going for us is he's probably playing Mada. They usually play Mada to draw into their Irae, which means we'll probably draw into a card for Ulrich. So I guess it's not that bad. We'll probably get a card for him eventually. And I want it to be the engine one that gets a +1 boost. He'll probably wait to play Mada though. Maybe not. Hopefully he plays it earlier. He also might not be running it, so that's kind of that's pretty iffy there. We'll just keep that in mind, that Ulrich might not be dead. So even though he potentially has Intimidate engine value, we'll hold on to him in case he plays Mada and we draw into something. Although, again, I don't think we can actually win this matchup, no matter what, really, unless we had a Fallen Light on him right here. Maybe with a Fallen Light off Ulrich here and then a Fallen Light out, we have a chance, but we don't have that going on for us. Alright, we'll throw out here, we'll play the coins. We need this to set up our coins. When we play a Firesworn now, he will give us a coin. Pretty nice engine value from him because it helps set up Van Hurst's Horde, which we're going to need to give us a bunch of units. And then we have Excommunication look through our deck, and then Bank also looks through our deck. So the problem is we really needed to draw something so it'd be in our hand for Ulrich, but it is what it is. We'll see what we can do with it. Grand Inquisitor, again, I need coin set up for. There's no point in saving these because we're not going to have anything that gets payoff from them. And I want to get this here for our bank. We need to look through our deck, hopefully find something good. I did see a Fallen Light near the top there. We need to kill the Slizzard. Hopefully he's not running Haunt. If he's not running Haunt and we can kill off Slizzard, this is our biggest chance, is if he's not playing Haunt and that was his main consume card. Although the fact that I think he was playing the draw stratagem tells me he definitely is playing Haunt. I might have confused him with the guy earlier though, who was also a Vi player. That one's not in this video. And the warm-up begins. Some fog. Where rat? Okay, so yeah, we can't actually stop him from doing any of his stuff. We'll throw this out.
Yes, you! Have you made your
These transforms are okay. The problem is that they won't get us. They're just 1-for-1s on his fee. We probably can't kill it, but it doesn't really matter. Again, he's going to get 2 many points most likely. But let's see how many points we can get and see if we can't make this educational and show how strong this deck can be in a longer round, even if we do end up losing that round. Okay, yeah, there's a Haunt. There's no way we would ever stop all of this consume. Now, we have our Inquisitor. We have coins for Inquisitor. We can make space on a row for him with Excommunication if we need to. Or make space for Van Hurst to summon an extra guy or something. So if he plays that, he's going to have what? How many Vies is in his hand? Probably plays it 3 times.
Probably 2 more times for consume, then just plays it once. Less communication here. Fallen Knight's what I want. Make more space on Von Hurst's row if possible.
Not harm a hair on your wench's head.
Maybe we can have more room. Be pretty good. Let's just transform here. We're gonna need we need to spend some for our Grand Inquisitor because he's got Prophet 4, but we have several spending options. So we don't have to rush out the coins and be afraid he's gonna kill our spenders. Although it doesn't really matter, most likely. There's the Ordermancy, second one. Into Vi, again another 19, 20 points, of course. Let's see. There's the Barghest to consume it. 5 more points. There we go. Naturally. So I guess the thing with Inquisitor is we need to spend coins before we play him to stop from over profiting. But the other thing is with the Von Hurst, we're gonna play him in Von Hurst row just because we're gonna spend all of the coins to get tokens with him, and then Von Hurst will not be able to spawn units anymore anyway because he won't have the horde. So normally you'd like say, well, why are you going to spawn these in this row when Von Hurst could spawn stuff here? It's because we're going to use all of the coins from Inquisitor and Von Hurst won't have horde. You could say, because we're going to play Dice Array next turn. You might say, well, why don't you just hold off on Dice Array and then play Ulrich? Because I'm kind of only tiny bit of chance that our only tiny bit of hope is that he Madas and we draw something for Ulrich, and that's why. World Decree, gonna be Vi again. Okay, so it's gonna be Dice Array this turn. We'll see how many points we get. It'll be a good amount, but not enough to beat him, almost certainly. Just because of look how strong Vi is at this point. But you don't have a deck that can interact with the opponent. If you don't have a deck that can like stop every consume card, you just lose to Vi a lot of the time. It's kind of annoying. You can beat it with stronger engines though. Like we have some engines, we didn't really get them out too well this round because we didn't really draw into them. Dice Array. We could kill a rat, but I don't really want to kill a rat just because the extra 2 points from boosting our 2 guys is the same as he gets for... It's the same, right? We lose 2 points of damage in exchange for getting 2 extra boosts. Doesn't really matter. Oh, he does have mana, so we are rewarded for holding on to Ulrich, but it's not going to matter just because of how many points he has.
You will never forget.
So that actually was smart of us, it's just not going to matter. Oh well. We'll play this, Mutants Maker. This will give us a bunch of stuff, so it'll be closer than it would have otherwise been. We could bleed, or we could... Yeah, we could bleed, or we could boost our own guy, or we could transform. I'm kind of nervous that he might have some kind of payoff for these rats randomly in his deck, so we'll just bleed them. We lose a point from the were-rat consuming them, but that's not that big a deal because I don't think it's... That 1 point will make a difference this game, is just what I'm saying. I don't think it really matters. But I'm kind of concerned that if he's running were-rat, he might actually have something, but obviously this is just going to be a Vi. It wasn't the case. And look how many points he's going to have on us. He should just use his leaders on 2 things with bleeding. The 2 rats with bleeding and let were-rat consume the last one. Then he saves 3 points. That's what he should do. And he should also Barghest consume something to save another point on the bleeding. None of it's going to matter, because he's going to win no matter what, but that's probably the smartest choice. Okay, yeah, he doesn't want to go too tall by consuming the bigger ones. It's fine, understandable. And then here we go, and we're going to lose this Vi player. That'll be it for the games here. Should give you a pretty good idea of what the deck's capable of, even if we did lose this one. Alright, so how to do, what do I think about the deck? What would I change? Right away we're going to change this out. I want to take this out. We didn't run into any of the Nature's Gift players today, so it just was a really bad card. I think we'll go with Roderick DeWatt here as our option. This is another engine card. The option to spawn a token. Overall though, what do I think? What would I change? It basically turned out how I thought, which is essentially a worse version of Arrakis Swarm. And basically for the same reasons. If you get your stuff removed, then you don't have payoff. and your payoffs proactive, the opponent will remove it. The one thing though that kind of hampered us today is we kept running into Vi decks. I think I left one in the video, but we played before recording this video. I played games with the deck before recording the videos, like get some practice with it and stuff. We ran into 2 other Vi decks too, and wow, come on, man! Half my games today were Vi decks, and Vi is just such a hard counter to this, and I'll explain why. It's the play style. You, like I said in the beginning, you want 2 long rounds. So usually, one of the things you can do is you win round 1 fairly quickly, like the opponent gives up because you're playing your high value gold cards. Then you have like a long round 2, and you go all in that round 2. And you can do that. That works out pretty well. The other thing is you save your stuff for round 3 and assemble a really good hand, and you swarm and get a whole bunch of payoffs round 3. The problem with that is that you cannot do either of those against Vi. And the reason why is Vi is a very aggressive playstyle most of the time. They go hard round 1, they set up all their stuff, they win round 1 almost every time. You can win round 1, but usually it goes really long then, and it only really works if their hand's bad and they don't get Vi's out. But if you win round 1, if they win round 1, they go to round 2 and they just keep playing Vi and looting you every turn, and you have to play your gold cards, and then there's literally no way to beat them in a short round 3. This applies to other decks too. So something like White Frost plays very similarly. They go very aggressive round 1 and 2 most of the time, and then either they 2-0 you, or you have no good cards left, and without good cards left, your leader ability is kind of useless, and your good cards rely on having those tokens out. And if you can't have them out, then you just lose the round 3. So that kind of playstyle is very detrimental to this deck, and I think it's one of the big issues. Arachis Swarm doesn't really have that problem as much. I'm comparing this to Arachis Swarm a lot, but it's because the idea is very similar. Is because Arachis Swarm, you can make the tokens far easier. Like, you can make 5 tokens at once, pretty easily there, with leader or just a bronze card. Here you can't really do that. The most you can make is 3, not counting Grand Inquisitor, obviously, but that card is coins. So that being said, how is it? It's alright. You saw in the games today, basically how it goes most of the time. Well, I would change about... There's not too much to change about the deck. I mentioned swapping out for Roderick here. You could take out Horst and Iwald if you want. Good options here are definitely the Faircrow the Sculptor. He can find you your cards more quickly, especially your Dice Array, since it is a crime. I think I would probably recommend trying out Faircrow the Sculptor instead of the Brothers. I just like the Brothers. And that's a good option, and you can drop one of them to a 6. If you look at the 6s, there's a nice card here called Kurt. Obviously, people know Kurt. It's not a bad choice. And then, yeah, I'd probably go Kurt. The Purify is okay. The Bounty's not going to really come up, but they're going to lock a lot of your engines. So if you have a Purify for it, it's not a bad card to have. You can also bump bronzes, obviously. It's not a bad choice. Other than that, there's not too much to change. Like I said, the bronze you can change on however you want. That's completely up to you most of the time. More clerics, sure. More feast. You could go for a... there is one version of the deck I'll talk about briefly, is that you go for... it's not Firesworn Swarm, but you swarm with... What's his face? Where is he? This guy. Igor the Hook. So you swarm with him, make a bunch of something like townsfolks or the priests, or the the priests, and then you just completely overload on engines that way. That's not this deck, but we might try that out as well. Yeah, this is pretty brief today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this was useful, and we'll see you next time.